So, hi everybody. If you don't know who I am already, my name is Bria XL and welcome to the sanctuary. As you can see, I got my beautiful goddess, Miss Jo, on the line, and I cannot wait to dive into this little conversation that we're having. I tell y'all shit about to get real juicy.
About to be
Up in
real
here.
juicy on the goddess
Yeah. Yes. And I'm so excited because I've been wanting to do this like for a minute. And Jo was the first person that came to mind. We're doing the first goddess talk because I feel like she just embodies the goddess so well. And we all know we goddesses, we all doing our damn thing when we doing our damn thing. And you know, like that's a bad bitch, okay? That's Jo, y'all. So just wanted to go ahead and introduce her and talk about her brand, talk about her personal brand, talk about her other business brand, because Jo got a lot going on. She a Virgo, you know, she got her hands in everything. So I just wanted to come and like just really put a spotlight on her. And also because we'll talk about her chakra business in a minute, but y'all know, y'all see my rainbow and shit, y'all know I'm all about the chakras and awakening your kundalini to be able to embody your sensuality, your confidence, and your best sexy self. And so I had to make sure I'm representing by bringing the goddesses that do that. And Jo got her wine. I got my tea. We got our joints. So we're about to get into this because we were already talking before. And I was like, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and start recording because I already know we about to say some crazy ass shit. We was already saying some gems like we always do every single phone conversation we had. So we just go hot right into it again. And y'all gonna see on the flyer her Findom username and handles and all of that. But of course, like I said, it's a goddess with many layers. So we're just starting with this.
Yes.
So Jo, would you just explain a little bit about how you got into Findom and just sex work in general?
Yeah, of course. Like Bria said, my name is Jo. That's what most people call me. If you're a sub, you do not call me that. But
right. Don't disrespect the goddess, please.
I do go by Jo Bluu. Some may know me in the Dom world, the Findom world, as Blue Domina. Domina is Latin for mistress. So I do consider myself to be a sensual dom or a holistic mistress, which is cool. I like the aspect of the spiritual, component that comes into what I do or how I push that in there. And just the sensuality, the energy, the eroticism of, being a holistic mistress or a sensual dom in general. And how I got started, that was around 2018. It was something that, like we've talked about before, it was something that kind of was just there. Like I started doing smaller things, goddess worship as far as body, just how I look, just me purely existing. And that evolved or continues to evolve into all kinds of things. But one way it has evolved is like I integrate my wisdom when it comes to chakra healing and chakra modalities with kink therapy. So the more I've done that, like I feel very authentic to that and I enjoy it. I just enjoy activating the fuck out of people. Especially men.
That's what we do.
Activating the fuck out of men. I enjoy making them sweat. But I also enjoy the exchange of power, in it, the dynamics of it. If anybody has read Think and Grow Rich, like, energy is a exchange. You know what I mean? It's a barter. So for me, it was like, why shouldn't I be reciprocated for the energy that I harness within myself, and not just the energy I harness within myself, but the energy that I ignite in another person, because that takes work. You know, and as far as sex work, like I said, it started small and it gets bigger and bigger every day.
Yeah.
We can talk about that all day. It's so many layers to.
It's so many layers, and I was, yeah, I'm telling you, we about to get into it. Like, now we be talking like
People think it
the
is,
cameras are not on.
you know, to what people think it is, to what it is, to what it can be, to the fact that you can make it
Exactly.
what you want it to be.
Yeah.
You
So
know, that go into it. It's an interesting field.
yeah, it really is, and that was another thing that I just wanted to like mention, because we just talked about it. How, you know, so there's so many women who like don't realize that they are doing sex work, and they're trying to claim that they're not. And then there are women who are trying to take sex worker techniques, and they're not sex workers. They don't want to be sex workers. They don't want no parts of, you know, the world, but yet they're taking things from, you know, the industry and trying
Yeah.
to apply them to their life. And in my opinion, I feel like you can to a certain degree, but this, most of the time you can't. Like, you either you in this or you're not. Like, once you start, you kind of are like, I'm gonna always like do
Yeah, like
this.
it's true. Like, I mean, once you decide within yourself, you know what I mean? Because you have to have a conversation with yourself about this, because it takes, it's not that you have to be full of yourself, but you have to have a level of confidence about yourself that is unwavering, you know, to what other people may feel. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, you know, what that comes down to. And you have to identify like your worthiness about stuff, because there are a lot of women that don't feel like they're worthy to be spoiled, or they don't feel like they're worthy to be invested in, or they don't feel like they're worthy of somebody, of a person providing for them and supporting them financially. They feel like, especially Black women, there are a lot of women who were raised to feel like, if I just show him, you know, how good of a XYZ I am, if I just do all these things, you know what I mean, I will get reciprocated in a certain way. And it's like, well, if you don't communicate actually how you expect to be reciprocated, or how you expect to be treated, you rarely are going to get that. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
because I mean, sometimes, especially in the sex work, where you have men that are submissives, and, you know, that is their kink. But then you also have men that just like to contribute to a woman's life. You know what I mean? That's their kink. You know what I mean? Like, investing or adding into a woman's life. Like, that's their thing. If I give her money and she go put that money into her business, that is their thing. Like, I like knowing that that money went to something and she amplified the fuck out of that. Like, there are some people that get off on that, and those are the type of people that I like. Because it is
Yeah,
very
exactly.
assumed with sex work that, oh, you just out here doing whatever for money and this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here having sex with just random people or whatever the situation is. Even in my sessions, like, my sessions don't involve sexual interaction to that degree. You know what I mean? It's about the kink and the fetish and whatever they are needing in that time.
Yeah.
And I get that, you know, very misconstrued, that if you are a Findom or a Dom of any sort, or if you just in that realm of sex work, period, that you giving people access,
Right.
Juiciness. And it's, oh, you're getting access to a certain level of my energy, but you definitely are not getting access to this. If anything,
Yeah.
you finna invest more in me and spoil me more, because you cannot have access to this.
Exactly. And on that. And of course, we know that is just one layer of sex work. But if you want to take it to that layer, I personally feel like if you want to fuck me, like this automatically, like I'm getting everything. Like and I won't even say, because I personally don't like to say drain. I feel like it's the exchange of energy, like how we just said. There are some Findom goddesses that prefer like let me drain your wallet. Like I'm more like I want to drain. I want to make sure we keep this energy going, so you can keep giving me money and investing the way that you're supposed to. So I love that portion of it, but as for me, I've done the online where I've done like videos of like myself, and that was fun for me. But there, I feel is, and I commend the women who are in this industry and they are able to literally go out and freestyle and get their money and have sex because they want to, not because they have to. And that is a kink of theirs where, like, no, like, you're going to give me what I'm asking for. I'm going to be this high end luxury companion for you. And I'm still going to get everything that I want. I love the fact that there's so many layers to all of this. You can go to different level if you want to. You can go back. You can go to what we're doing. And that way, if you don't want to deal with them in that way, you don't have to, and they still gonna give you your money. So the whole wonderful, well, what I would consider the spiritual part of this is literally you serving the goddess, and the goddess gives back to you.
Exactly.
And that's on all levels. Like any woman who embodies that goddess energy and she demands to be supported and taken care of, you can't help but see everything around her is popping. So
especially that's one reason why I got into it, especially like when I got on my God journey in general. That was a component of it. Like, if I'm a goddess and I'm not in this power and I have this magnetism, that's kind of what started, to happen. And for me, it became well, if I'm the goddess, like, and tap into being a goddess, like, I want my offerings. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the goddess. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the altar. Leave your offerings where they lay.
Yeah.
And they don't always have to be financial or money. Like, if a person wants to leave an offering of something they know that I need for my business, or if they know that there are certain things that I like to do throughout the month or throughout the day, and they want to give me money for that, or they want to give me a gift card for that, that's cool too. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people think sex workers and women, especially Findoms, or a dom that, specializes mainly in financial domination, that is just like, she just want money to just do whatever, and she just out here living reckless. Like, no, like, we have businesses, we have lives, some of us have families that we have to take care of and support, like, and we are evolving within ourselves. So you're not just giving me, your offerings and then I'm just gonna do something reckless with it. Like, do I like to splurge sometimes? Sure. I'm spoiled. I like to be spoiled. You know what I mean?
And
Everybody,
we deserve it.
yeah, like,
So
everyone.
that shouldn't even be a question. That's only a question really if it's a Findom that has some melanin to her. They don't care about, the other ones. But
This
it's
is
always,
true.
us, because, and that's why I feel like, especially for Black women, how spiritual and liberating it is, because this is like reparations. So the fact that we're literally not accepting the bare minimum when over time that's all that we were offered. So we had no choice but to accept it.
Yeah.
So now we're in this space where, like, no, like, I demand these offerings or you don't get access to me. So to even be in that space is extremely powerful. And like you said, like, this, whatever energy you're investing, it's not going in vain. And because we believe in intentional energy exchange.
And like I tell people all the time, like, from a spiritual standpoint, like, connection that I have with my ancestors and things like that. Like, you know, I sit at my altar. I have conversations with my grandmother who, you know, worked as a nurse or worked and did this, or, you know, cleaned, you know, white people houses, whatever the situation is, great grandmothers, things like that. Like, when it comes down to my ancestral relationship and the things that they tell me and the things that they couldn't do, like, it very much is offerings, it's reparations. Like, I'm gonna get everything that my bloodline,
Every
what,
motherfucking thing.
everything that they were society tried to stop them from getting. Like, I'm gonna get it. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna get it and more, because that is, you know, my birthright. And I feel like for me personally, that plays a part in breaking curse, you know, generational curse wise, when it comes to brokenness, or when it comes to poverty, or being poor, or staying in a struggle mentality and things like that. If you have a struggle mentality about yourself or about your life, like, it can be very difficult to pursue, you know what I mean, being a Findom, or being a dom in general, or just showing your power, and not just showing it, but serving people through it and them serving you. Like,
yeah,
feel worthy of servitude, nobody's going to want to serve you. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said,
right.
that's high point goddess energy 101. Like, how you feel about yourself dictates how other people feel about you and treat you. You know what I mean? Like, even being a dom, I had a conversation with my partner earlier, because I was telling him that I was gonna, you know, be talking to you. And he was like, that's really dope. I can't wait to see it. And things like that are a big deal, because a lot of people assume that if you are in any realm of sex work, that sex work, content creator, anything like that, that somehow you just living in this world and don't nobody love you, or nobody could ever love you or be with you, and all these things. And it's like, well,
yeah,
that's not true. I'm still very much respected. I just have a certain wisdom, and I choose a certain path, and I provide a certain service or certain services, and that's what that is. But that doesn't negate who I am as a person. You know what I mean? I'm still very loved, respected, and worshipped in, you know, all type of realms outside of the kink realm. And like I said, just my real life of having a supportive partner, which, you know, a lot of people don't always get to have when they come into a duality of, I am this person, but I'm also this person. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm a dom, but at the end of the day, like, I'm still just a beautiful, intelligent Black woman.
Exactly. That, you know, needs that ongoing love and support.
Very
Like,
much.
obviously, y'all should know, if we're not fucking you, we fucking somebody.
You know, like, 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 you think I'm just out here, you know?
Mm-mm. No, don't act like the goddesses don't get no play. Okay, this is the reason. They're the reason why. A part of the reason why we do this, because
You
we
know,
have too much energy. They're like, enough. We can't do. We can't do that. So we got to go and put our energy out into other places.
yes, we
And,
gotta transition that into other things.
okay. So I love that. I love that you brought that up about your partner, because I don't know why that's such a misconception. Mainly because I feel like people automatically assume women who are doing what we do, and really just any woman who's like high performing, that she's just out here like by herself, like, because it may appear that she is in her masculine energy, but what we're doing is literally leading with our feminine. And and I don't know how people could like miss that. If you see me leading with my feminine, why do you think I don't have people who are like in my real life, like supporting me? Like, I feel like with the online shit, people can, they have their own fantasies. They, they're gonna do what they do,
Yeah,
how people are on the internet. where
Yeah.
they may take this whole conversation and basically be like, these women say everybody need to be Findoms, everybody goddesses, everybody like, that's not what we're talking about. We're trying to get real with y'all and let you know, like, it's levels to this shit.
Multifaceted. It's like, again, I consider myself a sensual dom or holistic mistress, but that comes with a lot of layers to it. Is financial domination one of them? Yes, that is one of the components. But there are other things to that too. I provide chakra activating JOI sessions. I provide chakra meditation edgings, and from an in-person tip, somebody that is into CBT, that is a solar plexus activation. So I find a way to integrate, like I said, chakra modalities with kink therapy. So it's a lot, like you said, like, and I feel like that's something that kind of comes across on TikTok too. When you do have some women that are in the industry and they're on TikTok, I know some personally that are very knowledgeable and they're good at what they do. Like, they train me on a lot of things and, lace me up on game on a lot of things. But then you have others that do make it seem like it is just a everyday, this is regular, fast paced, whatever. And it's like, it's not necessarily that. Like, you do have to be knowledgeable of what you're doing, like, because it is an exchange. It is an exchange of energy. So you do have to be aware there are protocols that come into play, even the financial domination aspects, you know what I mean? But in any aspect of the kink industry or the fetish industry, like, there are protocols to that, and I think sometimes in certain arenas, especially social media, it can make it hard to distinguish, those type of things. Like you said, you have some women who live everyday lives that see something and try to implement that into their life. And it's like, you can't necessarily do that.
Yeah.
You can attempt it.
For you, boo.
Yeah, like somebody that will, provide that. Because, I mean, let's be real, most women on an everyday basis are, providing something energy-wise that they probably should be reciprocated for in some way. And like I said, not just the monetary aspects, but like, there should be an offering. You know what I mean? There should be something.
Yeah. And people like really gotta understand. And that's like why I always say every woman is a goddess, but you gotta know how to tap into that energy. And if you can't tap into it, then you're not going to, see or have certain results, the results that you're looking for. Women who are tapped into that, like, you can't be afraid to ask for reciprocation of your energy, because we're so used to just giving, pouring without that happening for us too. And that is, I feel, definitely a generational curse, which is why what we do is like, I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams. I know my grandma proud of me. Like, so it's like,
my elders and things be looking down like, boy, she out here
she's doing the damn thing. Because they would have wanted to do what we did, but they didn't have basically the right, or they didn't realize that they had the right. And that's why we say abundance is our birthright. We really mean that shit from our heart. Like, this was always how things were supposed to be. You do not give your energy out freely because it is too valuable. And when you really think about it, like on a spiritual level, especially when you connect with your ancestors, it's not just your energy, it's your bloodline's energy. So it's like, put respect on that shit.
Free, you know what I'm saying? And I know the biggest hang up with that is like, whenever anybody hears a woman say, especially Black women, if we say my time ain't free, my energy ain't free, they just naturally assume we talking about money. And it's like, it's not always money that I'm talking about. But it could be anything, but you're not going to get my energy for free like that. Like, no, you either need to be giving me some knowledge, lacing me up on game, of how to amplify what I already have, or contributing to what I have going on to amplify what I already have. But at the end of the day, the main synopsis is, if you're not amplifying what I have going on in a positive way, because let's be clear on that, a person can amplify, but they can amplify you in the negative.
Yeah.
A person can amplify you with abundance, but a person can also amplify you with fucking chaos and so if you're not amplifying from a positive space, you know, from a healthy space, from your own evolving space, we don't need to be having a conversation
at all whatsoever. I totally agree. And I really hate that that is always like the case. I mean, obviously it's for women in general, we say that we shouldn't be dating for free, fucking for free, not doing expending our energy for free. Again, like you said, they're always assuming that we're talking about money. And it's like money is energy. So that's like first. Like you need to understand that. Like
yes.
That's why for me, like once I started understanding that, it made it so much easier to ask for what I wanted because I deserve to have the energy that I know that I would be putting into.
Exactly.
So it's always funny to me, but this is why we're here. Because we're here, we're educating, we're letting these men know, like, basically get your energy up. Not even just get your money up, get your energy up. Because we're ascending past all this low vibrational shit. Like, I need land. I need, but you know what I'm saying? I need stuff that's way more valuable than what you trying to like all that shit. No, like
it's much bigger. It is like real shit. Like it is. And y'all, I am from Texas and I am hood, so you know, pardon me and my cuss words every now and then. But it is that, like, if you know the type of life you want to create, like not only does that take money, it takes a certain level of knowledge, a certain level of security and foundation within yourself. So, you know, if me and my partner are aware of what he wants to do, you know, to support his family, and what I want us to do to support mine, or what we want to do to be who we aim to be as individuals, but also as a couple, like it requires a certain mindset. It requires a lot of shit. You know what I mean? You can't get the money if you don't have the knowledge, or if you don't feel like you're worthy of living in that realm of things. You know what I mean? Like if I say a house with multiple bedrooms or 10 bedrooms, so I can have enough rooms for certain people to come visit, and I can have enough space for me to do whatever spiritual work that I want to do in whatever room, and have people come over and do these things with me. Like, and if when I see those visions, like I'm not just thinking about money, I'm thinking about the evolution of myself and the evolution of my partner. Like those are the first and foremost. Like if you can accept and evolve yourself, you know what I mean, while also understanding, like you said, like money, knowledge, all the things, gifts, whatever, like they are all energy. You know what I mean? Just as much as they want to give it to me, they do get something back. You know what I mean? And it's not what people assume they're getting back, but they get back a certain level of energy, a certain level of connection, a certain battery of exchange. And that's important, you know, overall, when it comes to the dom submissive dynamic, or just your life in general, especially trying to navigate being in the everyday, what we would call vanilla world, and also being in the kink world. It's a shift throughout the day.
Literally. Like we real life shapeshifters out here. That's why I put that up earlier. So I'm like,
I mean, keyword creatrix. That is what that is there for.
Exactly.
Creating in different avenues every day. And sometimes you start to see, like for me personally, I know there's going to come a day where these things merge, because I do have moments in my regular everyday life where I am approached
Yeah.
for something that is kink related, but I'm not presenting myself, or in my mind, not. But I realize as time goes on and as I evolve, like
That's true.
that is the energy that they're seeing, no matter what. You know what I mean? If it's just me going to the store, I can't do anything to a point, or sometimes I'll be surprised if, if I go out and next thing you know, by the end of the night, somebody didn't kiss my foot, and all I did was go out with my friends for the weekend. I didn't I didn't go out with the mindset of I'm going to dominate somebody, but somebody saw me and
That's what they
wanted to provide servitude.
they know the energy. So it's like,
So it's an interesting thing to witness of yourself,
yeah,
as you mentioned.
I agree. I definitely agree. It has been such a wild ride, especially for me, like being out like in public. And it's just like, that you're embodying like the goddess energy, but you're not always thinking about like how you're perceived by other people. Cause just like, I'm just being me.
And true, I will say, even that for you, like, rip, like when we first connected online, like that conversation, and then when we first spent time together, in real life, it was like, oh yeah, it's going to fuck on. Like this is dangerous. Being together is dangerous, but it's fun. It's from a spiritual tip, from a sensual magnetism tip. Like I think that is the coolest thing. And like even with, like you said, you don't know how people see you or view you, but like from the moment I saw you and met you, I was like, her energy is ridiculous.
Listen,
Like,
because goddesses know goddesses. That's why, okay? That's why. I already knew because I feel the same way. I was like, we're going to be best friends for life. I don't know why she like I don't know what we doing, but this is my girl. So yeah, I agree. And that's what I was just about to say. I can't wait until we link up again because we might have to do a whole other goddess talk.
Down soon because your birthday is coming up. It's going down soon.
Yeah, and I'll tell you details a little bit later to let you know what got going on. So hopefully you'll be in town. Yeah, we gotta talk about that because it's gonna be a pretty lit weekend. So I'm excited. But yes, that was part of the reason why I wanted to start the goddess talks. Because it is my birthday month. I am a wonderful Libra. But I if we did the whole rundown, if y'all know, your signs and everything. My Venus is in Virgo, which is why I feel like I connect with Jo so much.
Virgo sun and Virgo rising.
Yep. So she like literally embodies a Virgo. And you talking about Beyonce energy, and we can't even really compare because y'all are in two different lanes. But if you want to try to compare, that's what I feel like.
We've got a certain energy because Keke Palmer is a Virgo too.
Yes.
And so she give out like we're very like particular about certain things, but we have a certain mystique, but we also have a certain like energy. Like if we walk in a room,
yeah,
people pay attention to us, whether we not, at the end of the day, somebody gonna say something or have a thought, whether they were spoken to or not. So like, yeah, Virgos be on a whole different level of calculating.
They really are. And I love it. And I love being around you because again, like there are some women who are like, they can't be around like other women who get that type of attention out. This was probably, I won't say this is my first time, but I can count on my hand how many times I've met another woman who had similar energy where she was in her goddess energy and it amplified my energy. And that was all that I wanted in like a friendship. Like, let's amplify each other's energy. And that's what we do. That's why shit always be happening wherever we go.
Crazy. That first weekend we ever met was very needed, especially at the time. Like,
yes,
it's very needed. I was still like kind of navigating, my space of, being a dom, being a central dom, being especially in the financial aspect of things. Yeah. Like that was something I was really still being more, or having those conversations with myself to accept my authenticity about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And needing friends, because as Black women in the kink industry or sex worker industry, like, it can be a little different for us. You know, we've had those conversations. Like,
Yeah.
Black women already get scrutinized in general. But then when it comes down to being in an industry that is not the most socially acceptable, you get scrutinized in a whole, you know, different way, on a whole different level. And so it's nice to have friends that understand, you know what I mean, the world that you are in and everything like that. So, and then just to be a cool person, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
we can smoke a blunt together, take some drinks together, you know, talk spiritual shit, talk kink shit, sensual shit. Like, we can talk about any category.
All that. Our relationships, all that.
That,
I feel like we're in such a like unique category. Like, we literally have like some, like, we do like the most controversial shit, especially just as women. Like,
yes, the most controversial thing. But again, that's Virgo thing to do. That very much Virgo and Libra thing to do. Like, y'all don't like that? I'm gonna do it.
yeah.
Got a problem with that?
Care, because I get off on making you upset because I don't care. If it's not paying me, I don't care. Even if it was paying me, I probably still don't care because I'm about the bag.
It's still energy. Like, no matter how a person feel about me, the emotions are still energy, and that energy is still currency to me. So, you know, if they don't want to mind the business that keeps them.
And when you are an alchemist, a shapeshifter, any energy that I'm receiving, I'm like, I can turn into whatever I need it to be.
Exactly. It is that. It is definitely that.
It is that. So we're gonna take just a little bit of time because I told you we were gonna talk about these candles back here. Because I'm mad that you haven't been promoting them, but I understand. I get it. But now you're gonna be using this little clip right here.
Y'all gonna be all sick. Like, what? Okay, so yes, I do
love that one so much.
Yes, this one is for the love of fupa, because we got a little fupa here. So that one is for the love of fupa.
Yeah, and she got ass on her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do make
sure. You put any herbs? You said there are they? You said they're scented candles.
They are scented. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So they got a little. This is Little Booties Matter. It's Little Booties. But yes, they are. I do create. They are like luxury spiritual candles. Because I do chakra work and things of that nature, they are for the spectrum of the chakras, the main 7. So you can pick whichever color within that. I make them, you know, different batches every time. The colors do change, you know, the shades, because they are hand poured and everything like that. So the intentions when they are made dictates kind of the color, the shade that they come out with, and also the scent. I create a different scent combination for every batch, depending on what I feel needs to be put in them.
Are the scents like related to the chakras as well?
Yes, I do try to keep it that way. Sometimes it's just like I might do an intuitive reading and see what's going on, like what does this batch need, things like that. And depending on that, I will go from there. Depending on the color that I'm using, that'll play a part in the foundationary like scent that I use, but then I might add, you know, some others also just to, you know, spice it up a bit. But yes, I do make those candles. They will be up soon on my Etsy page. That chakra.
Send me your Etsy page too, so I can put it in the link of
Etsy page. Also the Instagram in relation to that particular avenue of things. Like she said earlier, Lick My Chakras, that is my kinkier therapy side of things. So if you want the more holistic just chakra work, yoga, because I'm also a certified yoga instructor as well. So I do yoga, sensual embodiment, things of that nature. But if you want just that side of things, which is usually women, you know, they're looking to tap into their sensuality or get a reading, any gender period, really with that. They want a reading, they want to find out what's going on with their energy. But if you need to find out what's going on with your energy and also get a little kink therapy, then you can find me on most platforms, Lick My Chakras, holistic stuff, that goddess. But I will give you all of it.
Yes, definitely. I just love literally everything she's doing. Every time you put something out, I be like, go Jo! She's doing the damn thing. I absolutely love, like, y'all have to check out like all of her stuff, especially her kink page, because she got some photography on it. Like, I'm already, you know, as soon as I started seeing your pictures, I was like, you know, we gotta do a shoot, right? Because
You know, I've been wanting to do a shoot with you for so long. Like that is, yeah, that's been needing to happen.
yes, it's gonna happen. Hopefully this month, but definitely by the end of the year. Like, even if I have to come up there, because I still have not been up to Austin yet. So we're gonna have to work it out, because yeah, we need those visuals. That's gonna be
Come this way. I do know a couple photographers and a couple places we can go. But then also Houston, I do know, or I'm starting to get familiar with like some kinksters and stuff like that. So I can always try to reach out to them, see if we can find like a dungeon or something to do a photo shoot. Like that would be really dope to do.
so much fun. I gotta get my latex outfit. Like, I feel like every Sunday you gotta have at least one set of pictures in the latex.
At least.
Yeah, that's gonna be so sexy. I love it. I literally can't wait. That stuff makes me like so excited. I love the visual parts of it all. And that's like the fact that, you know, at least for me, I know, because I love creating the visuals, that's why I know like the shit is gonna sell. Like, because I'm putting my energy, my love into it. So again, we're a part of the industry that really enjoys doing what we're doing. We're not just doing it because, oh, we thought we were gonna make a lot of money off of there. And no, it was really like, we kind of already doing this already. We should be getting paid more. So,
Yeah, like I've always been a very sensual person, or a person very connected to their body, connected to my energy and things like that. And I've also always been in situations where people come to me about very sensitive topics. Like that's been a thing for me since I was a teenager. You know what I mean? Funny enough, I used to want to be, when I was a teenager, I used to want to be a sex therapist. So it's fun that fast forward to now, and I am
you basically are
in the realm of becoming a sex therapist, you know. Yeah. So I think that's like really, really cool. And that's really the biggest thing for me. Like I like helping people understand themselves more, but the bigger part of that is I like helping people understand themselves more when it comes to their sexuality and their sensuality and their fetishes and their kinks, and just what entices them and what actually satisfies them, what brings them pleasure, even if to another person that would be considered pain. Like everybody is different, and I just think that is a beautiful thing to help people unblock that and open that up. And that's why I chose to, you know, integrate the chakra healing modalities with the kink therapy, because I just feel like it made fucking sense.
Yeah, it really does. Like, and of course, you know, not everybody understands it, which is why not everybody is doing it. But that's what makes what you're doing so special. Like, you basically creating your own lane. So many people are like trying to do the same thing within the industry, and it's like the women that I've seen being successful, they built their brand on who they are and what they're interested in. And this just goes really for like any business, but like, you should never, like, don't think that you can't apply that like to this. If you are somebody who wants to get into the industry, but you think that you have to do like certain thing. Like, no, like literally figure out what it is that you want, work on your own personal brand. That way, like this stuff that me and Joe are talking about, this shit just kind of just came to us because we were already doing it. It was already an interest like to us. So it's easy to, execute the work, even though, and like you said, like sometimes things are slow. That's business. But then when things pick up, okay? And we have to be prepared for that. So I just wanted to, I had to put that
Yeah,
little tidbit in there.
it is very true. And it is that, like,
Like I need y'all to understand this ain't no like easy shit. People think that it's easy to really do the work for yourself and then put your energy out the way that we are. Like this is
yeah,
not an easy thing to do. That was something that I had to learn when I first started, and I got burnt out real quick. So I was like, no, like this isn't how I want to expend my energy. And so I need
yeah,
to figure out what really, really works for me. And that's why I really like talking about this so much because there's so many people. I had so many women in my DMs, like when I first started with
mhm,
sex work, they were like, how do I get started? What do I do? And I'm like, listen,
yes. Because I get the
like,
questions too. Shoot, I've even got those questions from like men
yeah,
sometimes. And it is like, because funny enough, like there are a lot of men who don't know that just as much as, especially when it comes to Black people, just as much as Black women are fetishized, Black men are fetishized too. So there's a bag for you too, if that is
literally,
a path that you see yourself to be on as a dom, or whatever the situation is. But you have to start with your own research. That's like with anything. It's like if you just a regular person and just like decide you want to become a psychologist or whatever, like you're gonna have to go do research. You're gonna have to get some type of school and mentoring and just become knowledgeable of what it is that you want to do. You know what I mean? I feel like the one thing out now, especially since the pandemic and social media, um, people that do get into the realm of financial domination, if your mindset is I'm just trying to make some money real quick, it's not gonna go how you expect it to go. Like if you don't actually enjoy what you're doing as a dom within any category of it, you're not going to reap what you expect to reap or what you desire to reap. That's just not how that works. Like if you look and I just want to do this for a little bit and get some quick money, then you need to go do something else.
yeah, right. And I was about to say, like, you could go to the strip club, but like even that's hard, okay? Like I want y'all to put respect on the strippers, okay? Because that shit is not easy.
It
No
is,
part of this industry is easy. And I want y'all to get that out your thick
yes.
skulls.
Any of the things on the triple X category of things, they are not easy things. You know
They're
what I
not
mean? They all come with their baggage. They all come with, and then the nuances. And that's why I said, if you don't find it fulfilling for real, for you, it's just gonna feel like a job. It's gonna feel like a 9 to 5. And
right.
as you said, as we know, like if you're trying to be a business owner, work for yourself, be an entrepreneur, like the last thing you want is for that to start to feel like a regular job. You know what I mean? Because if you're meant to be an entrepreneur, if you desire to be an entrepreneur, one of your main reasons of that is because you were like, fuck this, I'm not gonna be working I'm not gonna be clocking in, you know what I'm saying, for nobody in this, that, and the third. And that's what that comes down to. Like, you really have to love what you do, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and love within that too. Like, it is not just, oh, I'm gonna start for this week, 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna get everything that, like, no, it take work, like the
Yeah.
content,
The
the
time. Yeah.
the
Because you
time.
don't know like what also like sticks. I saw another Findom goddess talk about how like when you first get started in this and really like just throughout your career, you literally have to be like, okay, let me just throw something at the wall and see what sticks. because there's so much that goes into it. So you need that time to be able to figure out what works for you, and then what you're attracting, what you're aligning like to. Because again, like, you can't just like make a couple tweets or post a couple videos and like think that you're gonna get you're gonna get subs. So
You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that for a couple days and think that's gonna work. It's just not how that's like any, like you said, any business, but especially in the kink world, kink industry, like I said, women of color, people of color, like, we get scrutinized on an everyday basis. But in the kink world, it's even more of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of biases, it's a lot of unbalanced perspectives when it comes to being a person of color that is into kink or provides some type of kink service or kink therapy, or is a dom or anything like that. Like, it's not easy, it's not fun. And a lot of people, because we are people of color, like, we get devalued in a certain sense. You know what I mean? Like, that makes it hard to just thrive in what you do. So you do have to kind of figure out, like you said, throw a couple things out there to figure out who you are and what works for you, because you can prepare all day from the beginning, but you may not find that out until you actually start getting it. You know what I mean?
Literally, you got to research and then you got to act. You can't be in the research stage forever, because you literally are not going to know until you do it. And so don't be afraid to do it. And of course, that goes for anything, as we just said, but specifically for Findom, like, you definitely need to be. Yes. You gotta be locked in. You gotta be dedicated. You gotta be committed. And when you committed to your goddess energy, it just comes naturally. So
this dress of mine, my thighs is dying.
Your thighs are dying. But that's just who we are. We got long legs. That's just gonna happen. I keep trying to make sure my titty ain't gonna pop out
like,
this road.
I'm trying to crisscross the other side of the
leg. That's why I was trying to be as comfortable as possible. But
long legs is not
listen. And that dress looks amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Color, and especially with the green. Yes, I'm absolutely loving.
It's one of my favorite dresses. It is like because the way the slit work, the thigh action there, like, this the dress. It's the dress.
Yeah, this the dress. Like, you better watch out if I'm ovulating.
Yeah, this the dress. This the dress. Like, when I put this dress on, all the goddess things are about to go down if I put this dress on. You know what I mean?
That's the freakum dress.
Yes, when Martin was like, put your freakum dress on, freakum girl. That is
that's that. And I love that. The fact that for me, I basically like started to fill my closet with freakum dresses. I was like, listen, because that's the energy that I like. Like,
fits, like, that's what I'm getting down to. It's freakum dresses and slut fits. I need it. So and
it's like, well, I have to have like a mix, because I try not to be, too sluttish as a mom.
But like, I feel like there's layers to that too. Like, what a slut exhibits, or what that even means. You know what I mean? Like, we just slut fits, but really we're just saying, like, a very sexual, erotic, something that entices, on
magnetizes people.
You know what I mean? Like,
look at me if I have this on.
Yeah, like, I'm very aware you're gonna look at me, whether I pay or not. Like, I know for a fact when I walk out the door, somebody might wreck a car. Yeah,
just that's not my fault.
Some fly off a bike because they're not paying attention. It's just a level of energy.
Right. It's like, you can either handle it or you not. And it's so funny that you said that, because definitely, it's definitely layers to it. In general, as Black women, because again, we are told that we can't be sexy and sophisticated and intelligent and all this. So when you're all of the things, it's like they literally don't know what to do with themselves. And it's always so funny to me to like see people's like reactions. Like I can't wait to post this because obviously we haven't talked like this. I don't see too many people talking like this on this level. Okay. Like, so that's why I was like, I knew this conversation was gonna be juicy.
Yes.
Okay. Like,
Ooh, like it don't even feel like, you know what I mean? It's like you said, we just talking, we just having a moment. There's no you know what I mean? Like sometimes you do things like this and it's like certain questions and certain this and this is what we're gonna do. But like it's just a moment, a goddess sister having
yep.
a genuine conversation about some very real shit and genuine shit.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it a lot. I love it. Like
I'm so glad. Like I really want to keep the vibe going because that's exactly what I was going for. Because I'm not no talk show host, but this is the sanctuary. So like I'm gonna make sure any energy I'm bringing to the sanctuary is literally that goddess energy, and it's nothing else that's allowed in here. So very very happy that you're able to hop on. Let me see. Oh, sorry. We've been talking already for almost an hour and a half. I already
crazy.
knew. I
That's
already knew it was gonna be like that.
mm-mm.
So I feel like because this just popped up in my head, we should go just a tad bit deeper, talking about. And I don't know why my camera. It's like the book cover wants to be shown. It's like
Obviously, because that's what keep happening.
yeah, and I'm just like. I actually forgot to have put it there. So I was supposed to be putting that up on the wall. So I was like, oh, I didn't have enough time. Like, I'll just leave it there. But I didn't think it was going to do all that. So that's
The light and the camera is like it's somebody over there, so we're gonna look at it.
yeah, and yeah, that's probably why it's. So I wanted to cover this a little bit. We're going to touch on um the partnership aspect of like our lives and being in the kink sex worker industry.
Yeah.
And of course, there are women who do have partners, they just have one partner. We just so happen to be polyamorous. So I wanted to touch on that because, of course, we know a lot of people have very skewed views on polyamory and what it actually means. So I just wanted to talk to you, or at least, because we've talked about it before in private, but just actually like talking about it like on camera so we can set the record straight for, for people. Let us know, like, listen, like, and this is how I am. Like, if you're like somebody who wants to be romantically involved with me, like, again, how we navigate basically our Findom business is basically the same way personally. At least for me, and this is just it just works better. But I'm the type, like how we said before, it's not always just about money, it's about what kind of support are you offering, and is it consistent, is it stable? Like those are things that I personally look for in a partner. So I want to see how your system and your process is, because I basically kind of learned my vetting process, my all that for you when I was tripping and you were like, you gotta vet these motherfuckers, okay?
I'm like, wait a minute, you know.
I was like, you're so right, Joe, because I was tripping.
Too much benefit of the doubt. Too much benefit of
And
the doubt.
I be so nice. Now I'm like, where the offering? Where you
Yeah.
like what's going on?
What it come down to, yes, I am polyamorous, or I do open relate. I do have a primary partner. That is my my Pisces. I love him to death. He's very supportive, very handsome. That's my lover boy. But in that, like, that took a lot of conversation, just that is a part of who I am. And him understanding that, because even in that dynamic of being somebody who considers themselves to open relate, like, do I have a primary partner? Yes. Am I open to having other partners? Sure. Are there people in my life that I have a very intimate connection to that is seemingly a relationship? Sure. But that particular person is the, primary person. And being able to communicate about that is what made it easier to communicate about being a dom, being a dominator. Like, that made it a lot easier. You know what I mean? Like, if he could support that authentic aspect of me, then why not have the courage to say this other side?
Exactly.
But the type of support and how they treat you being a reflection of how you treat yourself. You know what I mean? Vetting, yes. Vetting is very important, ma'am.
Yes, for sure. And this is personally and for business too. Vetting is extremely important.
Vetting is important because even outside of being a dominatrix, when you are a woman that exudes certain sensual energies or exudes a certain type of magnetism, you do get approached all the time for anything. And a lot of people they don't have ill intentions, but they have intentions that they are not initially speaking. And when you, like you talked about feminine and masculine energy, when you start to get aware of how feminine and masculine energy works and how they magnetize to each other, you understand why sometimes people do not, in combining societal foundations of things or how they were raised or whatever, you understand why they always say what their true intention is and why they try to go, another route. You know what I mean? So in that, like I said, when you are a certain type of woman that carried yourself a certain way, like you had mentioned earlier, when you look a certain way, but then also have a level of intelligence about yourself, it can be a shell shocker for some people. You know what I mean? But that's where the vetting comes into play, because a lot of people, they want to utilize your energy, but they don't want to, reciprocate or consistently show up a certain way. And, that's important. So yes, partnership wise, kink wise, like it's funny you ask about it, because, we have situations where people have come to him and, somebody who for whatever reason has decided to, find out information about me and may have gone to him and said, she does content and da-da-da-da-da. His actual response to these type of things are like, she's getting the bag. And he personally feels like that world, being a dominatrix, being in the fetish kink industry, like a woman that is capable of tapping into that avenue, like it's just an exhibit of her being more and more comfortable who she is as a goddess and whatever that means to her. He's like, so the further, you get in your path of what being a dominatrix is to you, like the more authentic you become, the more you tap into your goddess energy. He's like, so that would never, for him, that's not an issue. If anything, he just looks at it as, I'm evolving, like I'm on Dragon Ball Z or something like that.
Literally always leveling up.
Yes, he's
like you gotta understand that the partner, especially, I mean, polyamory is just such a complex dynamic already, but to be in a relationship with, and I'm just thinking from like a man's perspective, to be in a relationship with goddesses like us, you have to understand that it takes a lot of strength and confidence and control of their ego. And that is not something that is super easy for a lot of people. That's what I've been learning.
It is
Like when people do that's part of the vetting process. Can you handle the fact that I be shaking my ass on social media?
so the fact that I walk outside and people are drawn to me or people look at me because, even before I became more vocal about, being polyamorous or, being somebody who open relates, like when you are in monogamous relationships, like that can be a situation. Like just
Yeah.
because I can't stop looking how I look, you know what I mean? Like I cannot change necessarily how my magnetism works to a certain point. Like, yeah, I can control it and shut it off sometimes, but
But
for what?
exactly?
Like,
Why?
why would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm doing the work if I'm doing the work on a daily, spiritually, individually, mentally, all that stuff, like, I'm doing it to exude a certain level of energy. So if that light in me is shining more and more, and people see that, like, I'm not gonna dim that. And a lot of times that, like you said, the vetting process is important for that reason, like to figure out if a person can really handle the type of attention or the type of being that you are,
Yeah.
whether it is the dark feminine or the lighter sides of things or just the sensual nature. Like not everybody can handle
Yeah.
that necessarily, what it comes with, you know what I mean? Like you can be like, oh, a person look nice or whatever, but like, can you handle going out with them to the club and the things that happen when they go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some of the things that people attempt to do just because it's something about that person that makes them respond a certain way in their body and their decisions in that moment. Like
Yeah. It really does. It takes. I'm just gonna say it's a soldier that got to be next to us. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Because I need you to be able to handle all this energy. And again, it's not easy energy to handle, but this is why we have to be so protective of it. Again, talking about our vetting process. Every woman, no matter what you do, should have a vetting process. You should know exactly what it is that turns you on, turns you off, your absolute no's, your absolute yeses, all that shit. And it takes time to learn those things. But once you get it, it's like everything just flows like so much better, personally and professionally.
it
So
does. So like I said, you gotta vet. You gotta vet. It is important. It is important.
I'm so glad that we were able to talk about that. And is there anything else that you want to say about your brand, your businesses? Any final closing statements before I stop recording?
um Nothing really. Like I said, I will send Bria the links, you guys, for my Etsy, for the candles. Um, you can find me on Instagram, that chakra goddess. You can also find me on Lick My Chakras. If you want the more kinkier route, like I said, if you want more of the holistic, no kink to it, just holistic spirituality, you know what I mean? You can go that chakra goddess. But if you need some kink therapy in relation to your chakra therapy, then it's the Lick My Chakras avenue of things. But I will give all the information to Bria. And I just appreciate you, seriously, for even thinking about me, considering me. Like,
I appreciate you too.
always been connected, and
I
it's
know.
to be kind of in the works, like, at the moment, like I'm really, tapping into my purpose and figuring out what that looks like and creating a niche for myself out here in this world in general. And so it's, I hold much gratitude to be noticed in that aspect, you know what I mean? For like you to see that in that aspect. So
Of course. And we're gonna have to do an updated guys how you probably gonna be featured on here a lot because we be talking about a lot.
I know
So
I'm gonna be sitting on the couch with you.
Exactly. It's like that's really like that's like big. Like I want my friends like here and we just talking, you know what I'm saying? And giving whatever gem spirit is asking us to give. Because this right here is an energy exchange. We already know we putting this energy out, we're gonna get way more out of it. And that was really why I wanted to do it because I just know that we both understand like that. And I just can't wait as I've just enjoyed seeing your journey with everything that you've been doing. And how long we've been friends now? It's been almost 3 years.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years.
Yeah, so a lot has happened for both of us, and we've seen a lot of ups and we've seen a lot of downs, but no matter what, we have always been like, as if we about to get to this money. And I really appreciate that. And I love the fact that we connect on that type of level. And I just want everybody to be able to see that and see this is what the sanctuary is about, bringing the goddess energy and we bring it because I don't believe that you could ever dim my light. I know that you don't believe that I could ever dim your light. We literally are like, let's put our flames together and make the explosion. And
Yes.
so
Like when you are a goddess and when you are a woman in general, just trying to woman, man, God, goddess, when you're trying to get that connection, like you want like-minded people, like that's important. Like having like-minded people are important. Having people that, just vibe with you. You know what I mean?
yes.
Like you vibe at the frequency you vibe, and I vibe at the frequency that I vibe, and we finna go out here and we finna make those frequencies
Yep.
do a whole bunch.
Yeah. Because two is just much better. I mean, we can do a lot by ourselves, but we can do so much more together.
Yeah,
And
it's
a
true.
lot of us have been out here by ourselves, just doing stuff. It's time to bring the fires together because we got some shit to blow up.
That part.
So thank you again so much, and thank y'all for tuning into this episode of Come to the Sanctuary. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something about us, about the sex work industry, about Findom. Just let's see our beautiful goddess selves just talking. You've been graced with the presence.
Grace with vibes.
So until next time, peace, love, and prosperity as always. We will talk to y'all very soon.